Kakaveti.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are the Achievers.
My name is Tejaswini Gunukula.
My name is Ananya Kakaveti.
And my name is Srinidhi Manthena.
We are presenting on the global warming.
The world is changing, right? If you look at your window, you can see the weather change. If you look even longer, you can see the seasons changing. And like this, the Earth's climate is also changing. But it's changing in ways you can't easily see in. But the Earth's climate is still changing.
By burning fossil fuels, people have been releasing gases into the atmosphere. These gases are called greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases trap heat in the atmosphere and keeps the Earth warm. This is happening because of climate change.
The Earth has changed before, but this time is different. People are causing these changes, which are bigger and faster than any modern society has ever seen before. Yes, the world is changing, from day to noon to evening to night, and also by the 4 seasons, from spring to summer to fall to winter. For starters, I would like to talk about climate and weather. Weather is a specific event that happens over a period of time. For example, a thunderstorm or snowstorm or even today's temperature can describe weather. Climate usually is a weather condition that usually lasts years, usually at least 30. For example, the climate in New York is cold and snowy in the winter, while Miami's climate is hot and humid. The average climate around the world is called global climate. Weather conditions can change from one year to the next. Now I'm going to talk about history of Earth's climate. Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago. It was originally very hot. We know a lot about Earth because of rocks, ice, trees, fossils, and corals. Sun's energy output was only 70%. Liquid water present was 4.3 billion years ago. Life appeared 3.8 billion years ago. Photosynthesis began 3.5 billion years ago. Photosynthesis produced oxygen and removed greenhouse gases, which are carbon dioxide and methane. Earth went through periods of cooling and warming. Earth began cycles of glacial and interglacial periods. As you can see, carbon dioxide has increased and decreased in the atmosphere, but people did not cause this climate change that occurred thousands or millions of years ago. This could have happened because changes in the Earth's orbit, changes in sun's energy, photosynthesis, and volcanic eruptions. What is global climate? Global warming. When scientists talk about global climate change, they're talking about the global climate and a pattern of change that's happening over many years. One of the most important trends is the average temperature of the Earth, which has been increasing over many years. This is global warming. Planet is heating up and very fast. Global warming is primarily a problem of too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Rising global temperatures can lead to many issues. Global warming can cause rising temperatures, melting glaciers, it can cause more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and more droughts. Now I'm going to hand it over to Ananya to talk more about global warming.
Thank you, Srinidhi, for that little introduction. As she said, I'm going to talk about global warming, how it is created, what is the greenhouse effect, and the Earth's temperature. Global warming is basically an increase in the average temperature of the Earth's surface air and ocean. One way you can see global warming is anthropogenic global warming. This is when global warming is created because of human activity. Carbon dioxide related global warming is another way you can see it. It's when anthropogenic global warming attributes to carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And the last one is greenhouse effect. This is when certain gases in the atmosphere keep the Earth warm through a process, and this process is called the greenhouse effect. More than 100 years ago, people started burning coal, oil, and natural gases to power their homes, vehicles, and factories. Temperatures are rising during the last 30 years. In 2001 to 2010 was the warmest decade ever recorded. Higher temperatures mean the heat waves are more likely to happen and will last a lot longer too. Warmer temperatures can lead to a chain reaction all over the world. Here we have some examples of carbon dioxide and fossil fuels. We have some vehicles emitting carbon dioxide, a factory emitting carbon dioxide, and we have some people gathering coal to be burned as a fossil fuel. What is the greenhouse effect? The greenhouse effect is what keeps people living on Earth. This is when certain gases in the atmosphere keep the Earth warm through a process, and this process is called the greenhouse effect. If people keep adding greenhouse gases into the atmosphere by the year 2100, the Earth's atmosphere will increase by 2 to 4 degrees to 12 degrees Fahrenheit. But if we make big changes, like using renewable resources instead of burning fossil fuels, then the increase will be less, about 2 degrees to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Here are the Earth's atmospheric gases. We have nitrogen and oxygen. These are non-greenhouse gases. We also have water, carbon dioxide, and methane. These are greenhouse gases. Now I'm going to talk about the Earth's temperature. So here we have the Earth and the Sun. When the Sun's solar energy will go to Earth, some of it will be bounced off the Earth's clouds and just go back to the Sun's. Comes back to the Sun. When the solar energy comes to Earth, sometimes it will be bounced off the Earth's clouds and just go to outer space. When the solar energy comes to Earth, some of it will be absorbed by the Earth and the Earth will be radiation cooling. But if there's too much solar energy and too little radiation cooling, the Earth will be very hot. But if there's too little solar energy and too much radiation cooling, the Earth will have an ice age once again. Now I'm going to give it to Tejaswini, who will talk about how we can reduce this.
Thank you, Ananya. I am going to talk about signs of global climate changes, effects on people and environment, global warming facts, and how we can reduce global warming. Some signs of global climate changes. Higher temperatures are causing more droughts, and wilder weather is causing rain and snow patterns to change. Also, places with glaciers are having less snowpack, shrinking sea ice, and also the glaciers are melting. And the oceans are absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and is having ocean acidity. And this is making corals and also sea animals suffer. And rising sea level, because of the melting glaciers, there's more water added to the bodies of water. And we're in danger of flooding. Also, as temperature rises, the air becomes more moist. And also, if there's too little or too much water, it's still a problem. Because if there's too little water, you won't have enough water to water your crops or even drink. If there's too much water, you can be in danger of flooding. Here we have 4 graphs that represent the ocean surface temperature, the average sea level, hurricane strength, and carbon dioxide in the ocean. As you can see, these have been increasing from the past years. Effects on people and the environment. Agriculture, crops are losing, and also the richness in the soil is also decreasing. And energy and water supplies, the generator is not getting enough pure water to give us good electricity to our homes. And also health, people are getting temperature-related illnesses and also spreading diseases. This is worse. And also plants, animals, and ecosystems are suffering from the too much heat in the atmosphere. And forests are catching on wildfires and giving pollution to the atmosphere because of the too much heat. And also recreation in coastal areas, people living by bodies of water are in danger of flooding. Some global warming facts are that the U.S. emits about 6.4 billion metric units of greenhouse gases. Annually, 25% of the world's total. Like greenhouse gases last for a long time. Like methane, it lasts for 12 years. Also, increasing CO2 emissions in developing countries are likely to double with 115 years. Also, carbon dioxide stays in the atmosphere for approximately 100 years. Now I'm going to talk about how we can slow down global warming. We can reduce our consumption to fossil fuels, like green vehicles. Instead of using too much gasoline, you can either walk or use your bicycle. And do you know where we get our light and heat from? That's right, the sun. We have solar panels outside our house so we can get electricity from the sun. And also wind energy, our wind turbines that give us electricity to our homes from underground pipes. We can make some simple substitutions, because 40% of our household items are the cause of this global warming, like vehicles, electricity, and food. Instead of using a lot of bulbs, you can use one fluorescent light, and you can save up to 150 pounds of carbon dioxide per year. And also, instead of using frozen or canned vegetables, you can use fresh vegetables so you don't need to have too much heat to melt down the frozen vegetables. And instead of using hot water, you can use cold water to wash clothes in the washing machine. And our take-home message is that each of us must take steps to protect our Earth's climate. Save a tree and plant a tree. Thank you for listening. We are the Achievers.